Black American privilege. Black American privilege looks like being barked at in the elevator of your Miami University, hours after weeping with your friends in the English department following Trump's election. It looks like being told that you're pretty for a black girl over and fucking over. It looks like having people touch your hair everywhere. Black American privilege looks like being called a selfish American for wanting people who benefit from performing blackness, who've made their money from wearing us and wanting to be us, to say that our lives matter to them, to care. It looks like people asking, why should we care about Black Lives Matter on Maine? No shame. I can't tell anyone anything why you should care about black people, that black people live in your country, that anti-blackness is universal. But even if I did, would you listen? Or would you do what's been done? Ignore me? Diss me? Dismiss me? Would you accuse me of U.S. centrism, as if your country, any country outside of a relative few, treats black people like we matter? You say Black American privilege, like melting under the spotlight is worth the abuse, like being visible gets us anything, like being a hashtag is worth it, like being a martyr for a cause that should have been solved years ago is worth it. You say it like we need to apologize for it, for Korean Idol's cultural appropriation, corn-fed teens and their racist TikToks being murdered in our own fucking homes, for people around the world coming together to say Black Lives Matter. Because they do. Black American privilege looks like barely censored footage of black people here being beaten, hunted, shot. It looks like flinching when you heard 1, 2, 3 gunshots fired into Ahmaud Arbery's back. It looks like the news showing stills of George Floyd's death with that cop's knee on his fucking neck. It looks like never seeing white people's bodies on television, just ours. It looks like how many black people have been killed since George Floyd? Tell me again about all of this privilege we have as black Americans in America. Tell me about privilege when our bodies are choked out, broken down, experimented on, and left in sweltering city streets to rot. Tell me again about Black American privilege when we make up 12% of the US population, but over 35% of the prison population. We are hyper-visible, hyper-policed, and mistreated from cradle to coffin. And y'all call that privilege. Black American privilege looks like being told to make amends for our hypervisibility by people who refuse to fucking see us as people. Period.